This is a product demo of the PocketRN application. Today we're going to be demonstrating how a patient matches with a nurse via PocketRN in a reactive call, meaning the patient initiates the call and wants immediate assistance from a nurse on PocketRN. For this particular demo, we are going to be showing off the user experience improvements that we have been making that are currently in development and in beta. That being said, they're not too far different from what's in production, and all functionality that we're showing here today exists in production as is. When a nurse starts her shift, she will go onto PocketRN and say that she can start accepting patients. Then she can leave the PocketRN application. She can relax at her home until she is prompted to join a meeting, and the application will notify her when that happens. When a patient wants to meet with a nurse, they log into the application as well, and then they select that they'd like to meet with a nurse at this particular time. They select the topic that they would like help with from the nurse, and then they enter the queue. And at this stage, our algorithm is going to match this patient to an available nurse that can best fulfill this patient's need. The nurse is going to be notified when they come back to the application. They will have the ability to accept the match or decline the match. If they decline the match will go to the next available nurse. If they accept it, there will be a Zoom meeting that will be created between the patient and the nurse for them to coordinate care and to get the help that the patient needs. This Zoom meeting is secured, it's HIPAA compliant, but the nurse can escalate and bring in other people into the meeting if needed, and the patient can also bring in their caregivers or loved ones as needed as well. When they're done with the meeting, they simply click End Meeting inside the application, and then they can provide an optional survey response, just giving us an idea of how the meeting went. This is the core loop of the patient and nurse experience on PocketRN, but there's a lot of additional aspects to PocketRN as well, some of which we're excited to announce the development of. So one of which I've already mentioned is we are always focused on user feedback and trying to continually improve the experience, the existing experience. And this has led to the ability for us to introduce a redesign of our application, which we plan to release either at the end of this quarter or the end of next quarter. The next topic that has been requested on PocketRN is the ability to schedule meetings in advance. Most of our users have given us feedback that they typically don't utilize the app purely for reactive calls, meaning that the patient comes in and immediately wants to meet with a nurse. Rather, they usually want a meeting on their calendar. This is also something that's been requested by the clinics we're working with and the nurses we're working with, because several of the patient's needs are able to be resolved by PocketRN, which used to have to be resolved by the clinic itself, such as post-operation calls or discharge procedures that we can schedule with the patient through the application rather than having to be done by a clinic. So we are introducing scheduled meetings. We have a beta of it out today that we've been utilizing for the last few months, and we plan to have this generally released available later this year. Lastly, we got a lot of feedback about caregivers wanting to be more involved in their patients' care. So we've wanted to develop a personalized caregiver experience on PocketRN where a caregiver can have their own account and they can connect to a patient's account or be able to do all actions on a patient's behalf if the patient isn't technology savvy. There's many other aspects of PocketRN that we are currently working on, and a little taste of where we're going at the start of 2022.